Hello, it's Annette here and you're very welcome. This is a tough video now. Have you ever found yourself in a difficult moment in life, like being unwell, say being overwhelmed, being really stressed, or just needing support? And then you realise there's no one in your family you can call on for that support. For many people who grew up in a toxic or difficult family, sibling relationships don't become a source of support in adulthood. They often become distant, strained, or even completely absent. In a healthy family, siblings often become part of your support system as adults, and that's fantastic. You can rely on each other. They are people you can call upon when something goes wrong. They are there for practical help, emotional support, or simply to not feel so alone in the world. You know you can always rely on your siblings to help you out when you need it. But in a toxic or dysfunctional family, siblings are often affected by the same environment. There may have been rivalry, division, favoritism, resulting in an overall breakdown in trust between siblings. So instead of growing closer as you all grow up, you grow further apart. And that leaves you in a very difficult position in adult life, because it means when something happens, like when you are unwell, when life becomes overwhelming, or when you simply need someone to lean on, there is no natural family support to turn to. You may find yourself trying to manage everything on your own, or relying on friends. Yes, they care deeply, but they also have their own lives, their own families, and their own responsibilities. They're busy. So for some people, this can feel even more exposed if they are single, because there's no immediate partner to rely on day to day. But even being in a relationship and having a partner does not always mean you have support from them, because some partners are just not there to provide the care when it's needed. So the issue isn't really whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship. The issue is whether you have reliable sibling support when you need it. Can you ask your brother and sister to help you out when you're stuck? Let's look at one of the hardest situations to deal with when there's no sibling support. And that situation would be, say, when you get sick, right? Because this is where the lack of sibling support really becomes, seriously difficult, because you need practical help. Who brings you to the doctor? Who brings your groceries? Who collects your medication from the chemist? Who checks in on you? Who minds your pet if you are in hospital? Who keeps your house clean while you are out of action? Who helps if you are too unwell to manage all the basic day-to-day things that we all take for granted that we can do? When there is no sibling to step into that role, it can be terrifying. So it becomes important to think about this in advance, even though it's an awful thing to have to think about. It's really uncomfortable. It means doing the following. It means identifying one or two people you could contact in an emergency. Also, letting a trusted friend or neighbour know that you may need help if you are unwell. Putting simple supports in place, like online grocery delivery or pharmacy delivery. Having a small plan written down in advance of any medical emergency, so you are not trying to figure it all out when you're already sick. So we do this in advance, the planning in advance, to make sure we are not left without support when we need it most. So let's look at another situation where it really hurts if you're not in contact with your siblings. I'm talking here about family-centred occasions like birthdays, weddings, or say cultural or religious celebrations. or any occasion where family naturally gather and expect that sense of belonging and support to be present. These occasions are often the moments when the gap becomes most noticeable, when you really, really notice that you can't mix with your siblings. And it's not because there is something wrong with you. That's not the reason. That's not the problem. It's due to the long-term effect of growing up in an environment where relationships were shaped by stress, conflict, division, emotional difficulty. You were never able to be close to your siblings as children, and over time, this distance between you carries forward into your adult life. It's really sad, isn't it? It's terribly sad. So what happens when we have no sibling support to rely on? I think it can lead to a very quiet kind of isolation and loneliness that's not always obvious on the outside. I mean, you can't really see that in some people, even though it might be going on in their lives. But for them, it's very, very real on the inside, especially during times when support would matter most. So the question becomes, what do you do when that natural support system isn't there? What do we do? The first step is recognizing that you may need to build support more consciously. And this means strengthening a small number of trusted friendships and allowing yourself to ask for help, even if that feels awkward or uncomfortable. Asking your really good friends to help out. We have to create our own version of support rather than waiting for it to come from family. I know the support won't feel the same as having your brothers and sisters around you. I know that. But it can still become something real and reliable over time. So if you have no siblings to rely on, please know that you're not alone. There's lots of people out there like you. I'm one of them. It's not something those of us in this situation can talk about easily. I never talk about it. I mean, why? Because how can people who are super close to their siblings, how can they understand a situation like this? They maybe won't understand it. So we end up just keeping quiet, don't we? We just say nothing. So I'll end the video saying this. While you may not have the support you wish you could have from your siblings, it's still possible to begin building a system that supports you now and in the future. This lack of sibling support in your adult life is a heartbreaking loss. It's awfully hard to deal with. It really is. And it's such a private loss, as it's not something we can talk about freely, as many people do not have to deal with this loss. So again, I will ask you to be gentle with yourself and be kind to yourself, and ask the people in your life who do genuinely care about you to help you out when you need it. And I'm telling you, these people will be glad to help because they really do care about you and they really do value you. So thank you for listening to this. I know it's sad what I'm talking about, but I hope it helps. Thank you.